Hello, everyone. We're back here. So today I'm going to discuss meiosis. They're probably one of the more difficult parts of this test is for you to really differentiate the difference between mitosis and meiosis within their steps and how the chromosomes line up. Again, this should all be reviewed. We went over it last year, but definitely I'm asking for more detail and your ability to use the vocabulary in meiosis and use it and apply it in a way that allows me to see that you understand the difference between mitosis and meiosis. So you are performing meiosis right now at this moment. Where is it occurring in your body? If you guessed your sperm and egg cells, you are correct, people. So yes, your sperm and egg cells. Please don't say in your skin or anywhere else on your body. That freaks me out. That means you could get someone pregnant by touching them. So let's just go within your sperm and egg cells. All right, so parents pass on information to the offspring through heredity units called genes. That's easy enough. This is a test question that is almost always missed. The human genome is minimally contained in every, then it's blank. Some of your options would be, obviously the correct one, every human cell. Every human cell. So we have some like 4 trillion or something cells in our body. Every single cell has a copy of the human genome, okay? So there's other options. Each human chromosome, no. We have 46 chromosomes. The entire DNA of a single human, no. It's minimally, you have 1 copy of every chromosome in every cell, with the exception of the egg and the sperm cells. And those cells, you have half the number. So 2 types of reproduction. Oh, we have a cat and the bird attacking the cat coming in here. Hopefully you won't see it, but okay, hang on just a moment. I just have to save the cat here. All right, good.
Move it, bird.
The parrot, let's just, hello. He likes to attack the cats. Oh, God. All right. So asexual reproduction, this is what bacteria cells do. It's like begots like. They literally binary fission. They split into 2. Sexual reproduction, 2 parents give rise to offspring. In terms of your test, you just need to know, I'm looking through and I don't really see anything, but those 2 are bolded, so I think that's a pretty obvious difference. The reason and the advantage to doing sexual reproduction is to have this variation within species. That results in survival, basically. You might have some kind of genetic difference between one person and another, and that is all the difference in the world in surviving some global pandemic or something. Asexual reproduction, that is sort of anything that, like a bacteria cell. And can they reproduce quickly? Yes. That's why your throat is scratchy one day and the next day you've got a full-blown strep throat infection. It happens very quickly, but there is no genetic variation, so they're easier to kill off. This is just a quick thing where you're looking at asexual reproduction versus sexual reproduction. Yes, asexual is more efficient. You only need 1 parent. Sexual, you have 2 organisms. You need gametes produced for sexual, whereas asexual, you don't. Gametes are produced by meiotic divisions. That is what we're going to learn about today. How do we make sperm and egg cells? However, with sexual reproduction, you get comparatively less number of offspring. Whereas sexual, whereas asexual, you're going to get a lot of offspring in a very short time. How is natural selection related to sexual reproduction? This is a test question, and it's an important one. Sexual reproduction results in new gene combinations forming. And when we get new gene combinations or genes that are a little bit different, that results in differential reproduction. So the ability to sexually reproduce allows new gene combinations to come about, and that could give one individual or a few individuals an advantage over the rest of the population. So that's why natural selection is related to sexual reproduction. And again, that's in red and bold, so you can probably guarantee you're going to see that again on a test. All right, we're going to move on. The human life cycle, so these are definitions that you just need to know at this point. The somatic cell is the body cell, basically, and it's written as 2N. Again, we went over this last year, but now it's assumed that you know what this is. So is there going to be a specific test question? No, I assume it is written within a test question, okay? Somatic cells, this is what everything in your body has, and you're always going to have 2 pairs of every chromosome. The fancy way to say that would be you're always going to have homologous chromosomes. That's the one where you have a copy, one copy from mom, one copy from dad. Okay, so most of the cells in your body are somatic cells. Humans have 46 chromosomes. Where we get the 2N from is you also could say you have 46 chromosomes or 23 pair. You need to understand when we say something has a number of 2N, let's say it has 2N equals 8. What could that also mean? It could also mean you have 8 chromosomes or 4 pairs of chromosomes. Gametes, on the other hand, are sex cells. The way that we would write them is denoted by the letter N. Again, you can think about it as 2N means you have a copy of the homologous chromosomes. N means you just have one copy. In this case, for humans, you could say that you had 22 autosomes and 1 sex chromosome. That is just for humans, right? If for our cell that had a 2N of 8, its N number would be 4. The other way you could say a gamete, and this is a definition you have to know. A gamete is a cell with a single chromosome set, and it's called a haploid cell. A haploid cell or a gamete cell means you only have 1 copy of every chromosome. That's the point of reproduction, is that you are bringing forth 1 copy of, let's say, chromosome 1, 1 copy of chromosome 2. And when the egg with 1 copy of each of those meets the sperm, you suddenly end up with the second copy. Making sure I didn't miss anything here. So here you see a haploid cell in 1 copy of genetic material. This shows you just a demonstration of the diploid. And this is showing you where, see, you have 2 copies of the pink chromosome, 2 copies of the blue chromosome, and 2 copies of the green chromosome. We could say if this diploid number would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 3 pairs of homologous chromosomes. This haploid number, we could say the N equals 3, and you have no homologous chromosomes present. This is a test question. What does it mean if a species has a diploid number of 2N equals 16? I want you to think about that for a second. You could even pause the video. But what that would mean would be that basically the species is going to be its diploid number, we could say, is 16 chromosomes per cell. We could say that each cell has 8 homologous chromosome pairs, we could say that the haploid number would be N equals 8. So hopefully that helps. This is a karyotype. A karyotype is a display of each of the chromosomes in a single cell. So every chromosome, this is a simple definition that it would just do good for you to know. It's an easy answer. But a karyotype displays the chromosomes in one cell. So you're going to have this is an example of a human one. Why are there no homologous pairs here? These are the sex chromosomes, the X and the Y. Okay? And so every cell would have all of these chromosomes in it. Okay, here's a table talk. Pause it. Make sure you know these answers. I will give them to you right now. What can we determine if a species has a chromosome number of 2n equals 12? Well, there's a lot of things. We could say that the diploid number is 12. We could say that the species has 6 pairs of homologous chromosomes. We could say that the gamete or the N number for this species would be 6. What is a haploid cell? Look back on your notes and find the definition of a haploid cell, the specific definition that is in there in bold. But basically, a haploid cell would be an egg or a sperm cell, a gamete cell, or a cell that has half the chromosome number. How is natural selection related to sexual reproduction? That's another one. The answer is in bold in your notes. Please go back and find it, okay? But it is basically that natural selection or sexual reproduction allows for new genetic recombinations and variation, which can give differential reproduction to certain individuals in the population. Which of the following best describes a karyotype? I would say the answer is a pictorial representation of all genes for a species. No way. A display of each of the chromosomes of a single cell. Yes, that's your answer. B, the combination of all the maternal and paternal chromosomes of a species. That's saying of the entire species. Notice the words. Read carefully. A photograph of all the cells with missing or extra chromosome. What the heck is that? So the answer is B. All right, I'm going to pause it because I think it's easier for downloads if I do these in short clips.